I've been looking at this Miscanthus Falling Water for the last couple of years and thinking I must divide it to see if we can make a few more plants and spread them around the garden. After looking at that last section of the garden with all the beautiful flowers, it's hard to imagine how it could look like this in the winter time. It's now totally dormant. The bed's full of weeds. It needs a major makeover, which I'm about to undertake. But first I'm going to dig up this Miscanthus and remove one piece to go back in this hole, and the rest I'm going to divide into a number of plants so I can spread them around the garden. Wow, this is very difficult. Whack, whack, whack. The end of the shovel is hardly penetrating through the clump of roots. Okay, I've got a couple of clumps here now. I'll try and break them up just a little bit further before trying the saw. Oops, I didn't expect that, the handle coming off the shovel. It was very difficult to separate them. As I said, the roots had virtually fused together into just a block of wood. It may appear that I'm treating the roots rather harshly, but we'll come back and just see how they come away from this harsh treatment at a later date. Surprisingly, I still managed to get about 25 small pieces, and I've still got two large sections. One to go back in the hole where the plant originally came from, and one to go in another new location in the garden. Okay, we've got it back in the hole, soil's back in around it, just compressing it down with my feet, then a little bit of a fluff up with my hands before watering it in. Actually, looking at it now, it doesn't look too bad. This is Bonnie, one of our 3 whippets, supervising my efforts. Now don't look too closely at the garden. As you can see, it's full of weeds. Let's just see what it looks like after we've given the garden a total makeover and I make another clip later in the year. Okay, now those 25 or so pieces that we'd cut up beforehand, I'll now pot them up. Why I've got so many pieces I don't know. The older I get, the more garden I want to develop. You think I'd be going the other way and reducing the size of the garden. You just want to keep making new gardens and keep expanding. There's just so many plants, you want to grow them all. You want to try them all and see how they grow. Depending on the clump of roots, the size of the section I'd cut with that saw, I put some in what we call a little square 4-inch pot. Those blue pots are what we roughly call a 6-inch pot. And to the left, there's an 8-inch pot, 3 of those, and further to the left, there are 7-inch pots. Now, this is my next project. Just here, there are 3 dormant clumps. You can see they're just coming out of dormancy of Panicum Autumn Glory. I'll dig these up in about another week, perhaps 2 weeks. I'll just wait for a little bit more new growth to appear before doing so. This blue flowering plant is a Vitis. It's called Vitis agnus castus. It's a Mediterranean variety. There's about 250 species, including a few from Australia. This taller plant with the yellow or golden flowers is another plant from the United States called Rudbeckia laciniata. Now there is another form of this called Rudbeckia laciniana herbstone, which I really love. I've seen them in America and in England, but I can't seem to find any of that variety in Australia. Some lovely pink and then yellow dahlias, but one of my real favourites is this taller variety at the back called Joe Pye weed, Eupatorium gateway, another plant from the United States. It's actually found all the way from Canada right down the east coast into Florida. Still more Rudbeckia laciniata. These plants will self-seed and come up anywhere and everywhere in your garden. I tend to leave them in place because they are so pretty. We're passing by more Rudbeckia demii, these gold flowers with that black or dark brown eye. They will spread around the garden just like Rudbeckia laciniata does. Beware of Teucrium purple tails, beautiful plant with these purplish spires coming up all over the plant. But once you've got one, you'll be lucky if you can get rid of it. It self-seeds freely and comes up everywhere. Along with Eupatorium gateway that we looked at earlier, this one is Sanguisorba blackthorn. It would easily be within my top 10 plants. More Helianthus Loddon Gold. What a beautiful plant. As we drove around the US only a few months ago, we saw thousands, not of this variety, but of the more natural, this is a cultivar, but of the natural growing species of Helianthus. They were everywhere along the side of roads through the US. I do hope you like this video. I'm going to try and make more over the next few months to show how the garden comes along. It's about to be all dug up and given a major makeover, so it'll be interesting to see how it comes up, and I hope you'll join us and follow my garden as it progresses. Thanks for watching.